Good morning, everybody. This is Pete Dolger building Mears Models F86. Anyway, I went ahead and as I told everybody, I am actually building. We've gone through just about everything on this as it is. Now, again, these tubes are not glued in because you're going to need them to actually, they're a very, very snug and tight fit. But anyway, don't glue these tubes in yet. You can put them in here to keep this aligned and straight, but don't glue them in. Now, I went ahead and actually built one of the elevators, and it's drying right now. But I want to point out one thing, a very big point of interest. The ribs, when you look at them, they sit in one way so that they will sit straight in their continuation of every one of the ribs, and that's where your placement is going to be. Now, that being said, I built this one, and I have the other one sitting here. Now, the one thing that you want to do when you do this is make sure you're not building two of the same side. You're in fact going to be building this. This is actually the lower piece. It'll sit in relation like this. And then this piece goes and it fits in there, and it just sits in a perfect 90-degree relationship with it. I'll show you this in just a minute, probably the next video. Now, when you get these parts, you want to stack them on top in the direction that they're going to go, and build it to the stabilizer. And the reason you want to do that is because everything's going to, like this, is going to, let me get a hold of it, everything is a continuation of what is on there, and you're going to have to do a little bit of alignment. It's not a big deal, but they're all a continuation of the rib, and they do all back. When you sheet this, we'll talk about it when we get to that point. We're going to actually put a filler cap in there, and then we'll make that out of balsa. It'd be just fine. And I'm going to be using the G10 hinges. So what we got to do after we get this done, we're going to have to add some balsa into these bays right here where these go, and then we're going to have to drill this out to accept a rod that will go right through there for the actual hinge. And then we're going to be doing the same thing in here. We're going to be putting some balsa wood blocks, and we're going to actually fill in a couple of these bays. There will be 3 hinges per wing from what I can tell. There'll be one here, one in here, one in here, and one in here. And then we will drill that through, and I'll show you how you make that drill bit. And it's kind of it goes fairly quick. It's not nearly as intimidating, but we are going to have to cut this out, and then we will sleeve these with probably some Serene or some G10. And that'll make these pockets, because I want to make this so this overhangs so that this movement, when the movement does actually come in, like right in here, it will actually be hidden. And of course this will be rounded off and filled. So, and we'll neaten it up. And you know, a lot of guys have asked, a lot of guys have been asking, and one thing about it is this thing, how is that leading edge on that? Well, it gets capped off with a 1/4 inch thick piece to make that leading edge, and it might even be laminated. I prefer to laminate it, and I'll talk about that later. I just find it to be a much stronger thing, just because it is. And we will go. As far as the glue joints go, I told you guys I would show you this. If you use the syringe, you're gonna, if it focuses, you're gonna see you get a really neat and clean, there it is. You'll get a clean job using the syringes. You don't have to use these. But again, you get these at any hobby shop, and I don't cut the tips of them off, and I just use a piece of tape to seal it off, and this will last for quite a while, as long as no air is getting to it. it's good and I never have an issue with them. But yeah, it's just it is what it is. So these are what I use for my gluing. And anyway, next video we're going to go ahead and set the stabilizer up, and I'm going to show you how I tack this, and then